It takes a lot for a fact to blow my mind, but this one did it. So this is in Fortune magazine. Overemployment is here. Nearly half of workers have more than one full-time job. What? More than half of workers have more than one full-time job. That's an astonishing fact to me. And that's further evidence of just how completely broken our system is. So here's what they say. We all can get away with more when working remotely. On a given day, that may look like making a Trader Joe's run, dropping off dry cleaning, or for almost 2 in 5 Americans, working an entire second job. 37% of respondents to a January 2023 poll of nearly 1,000 workers from job site Monster admitting to having more than one full-time job. And among those who only work one full-time job, most of them, 57%, said they'd consider adding another. 4 in 5 workers who said they have or want to have numerous full-time jobs aren't doing it for the love of the game. Wow, you don't say. In fact, it's an extremely risky undertaking, as they could potentially be fired by both companies if they catch wind of their plan. Rather, they told Monster, they're doubling up only because their main job isn't providing enough money to make ends meet. So 37% of workers have more than one full-time job, and the reason they do is because they can't pay the bills without it. Jesus Christ, tell me you're a broken system without telling me you're a broken system. Put this right in the bin of those facts that are just astonishing, like tens of millions of working class poor people. Working poor, so they work full-time, and they don't make enough to survive. Well, these are the people who work full-time, don't make enough to survive, and take on a second full-time job. Can you imagine? Doing one full-time job is enough in terms of, like, how much energy it takes out of you, regardless of how many hours you spend doing the work. Additionally, almost half said they're worried their current job will lay them off, and they're seeking another as a backup plan. Look, this is another thing. This is a part of unionization that we don't talk about much, but we should, is that having some semblance of job security is so colossally important. You can't feel like you got to walk on eggshells 24/7 or you're going to lose your livelihood and be damned to poverty. So one of the good things, there's a lot of good things about unions, but one of the good things is you can provide, working into the contract, some sort of guarantee, right? When you look at teachers with tenure, I mean, a lot of people criticize tenure because it's like, oh, you can't get rid of bad teachers or whatever, but think about that view of human nature, this idea that, like, what, people are just waiting to be really shitty at their jobs, and then when given the opportunity, they let it unleash and just be really shitty at their jobs. Maybe in a small percentage of cases, that's true, but in the overwhelming majority of cases, people view their job as like a responsibility, like I have to do the work and I have to do it right. So really, job protection is really just protecting yourself from asshole bosses. You know what I mean? Having some semblance of job protection is like, let's make sure your boss can't be too much of an asshole. Let's see what they say here. That's probably a reaction to the current state of the economy, which has been gripped by inflation, a looming recession, and layoff fears, despite the fact that layoff rates are currently below pre-pandemic norms. Working 2 full-time jobs is never advisable. Monster career expert Vicky Salemi tells Fortune it makes workers likely to burn out quickly and leaves vanishingly few hours for a personal life. You don't say. Again, I don't think people are really doing this by choice. Plus, burnt-out workers are much less likely to perform well, which could put them at risk of losing both income streams altogether. See, now, that's another fact we have to bring up, is all these studies that have come out that say companies that move to a 4-day work week have had tremendous benefits. Worst case scenario, you get some companies where productivity just stays the same, right? But people get an extra day off, so that's a good in and of itself. With some companies, productivity actually goes up because people work fewer days and fewer hours, but they get more work done because they feel fresh and sharp and they can just do better work. It's also legally shady. Many companies have HR policies prohibiting employees from working another role in the same industry. Salemi says, if you're a CPA at an accounting firm, they may prohibit you from doing accounting for a small business on the side, but being, say, a florist may be okay because it's an extremely different job. Okay. Anyway, look, this is astonishing, man. The things in our economy that people don't know, or they do know, and it's just sort of accepted as par for the course. Nothing about how we've crafted our economy is just like, it's just a law of nature, just is how it is, it's unchangeable. All these things are a choice. They are a policy choice. Just like when we did the extended child tax credit, and basically over a short period of time, we reduced child poverty by 50%. It was a policy choice. What that proves is child poverty is a policy choice. We could have reduced it by 100% if we wanted to. We didn't do it. And also, that program ran out. And so child poverty went right back up. So these are all choices. These are all choices. Remember that UBI study that came out of Stockton, California, where they just paid $500, no strings attached to all these different people? The money, in the overwhelming majority of cases, went to food, paying the light bill, paying the rent. It was all like what you'd expect a mature citizen to put the money towards. Less than 1% went towards like alcohol and stuff like that. So people need help, man. People need help. People need more time off. People need higher wages. I mean, the answers are simple. The answers are straightforward. We talk about them all the time. You need sectoral bargaining, so you need everybody to be part of a union. You need a higher minimum wage that's a living wage. You need new laws on paid vacation time by law, paid sick days by law. I mean, all this stuff is obvious, but instead we sit here with a broken economy as infuriatingly the government pretends like, bro, everything's great. Low unemployment rate, bro. It's a low unemployment rate. That certainly doesn't tell the whole picture. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.